Hello, scholars. We're going to be looking at Part H, which is the last and final part of this Creating a Colony project. You're going to be writing a persuasive letter, and it's a 5-paragraph essay. This 5-paragraph essay is going to be written from your perspective, so as if you were living the time period. So we want you to be as creative as possible, but we also want to make sure that you're including the experiences of you and your fellow passengers and settlers. Your letter should include everything documenting from the very beginning of your voyage throughout the entire year of your settlement. You want to make sure that you use all the parts A, B, C, D, E, and F, as well as G. All those pieces should be wrapped up nicely in this letter. This 5-paragraph essay should include the following. What is your motive for leaving England? This should be in your introduction paragraph. Remember, you came up with a month and a day and a year? Make sure that you include that. What were your feelings like as you made that journey? Again, describe what it was like leaving your home. What were the conditions on board like? What was it like on ship? What was it like to live on a ship and then across the Atlantic Ocean? Creatively explain one unfortunate event that took place during this voyage. In the second paragraph, then, this is your body. You want to include the following. Why did you pick the supplies and the people that you selected? Make sure that you're being specific for each person and each supply. So again, this is a letter. You don't want to just simply list them off. You want to be as creative as possible as you are writing home back to mom and dad or grandma, aunt, whoever. How did these supplies set you up for success in the colonies? Or maybe it didn't. Make sure you include that in paragraph number 1. In the second paragraph, make sure that you include at least the following. What are your feelings? What were they like when you came to the American colonies? When did you arrive? What was that month, day, and year? Remember, a voyage takes anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks, depending on weather. What was your site like? Where did you pick and why? What was the name of your colony? What was the geography like of your colony? What were the specific advantages and the disadvantages of your colony? And the third paragraph, make sure you include the following. What are those goals that you hoped to finish as a colony? Who are your leaders? What kind of jobs do they have? What tasks are the most important for you as you are settling this colony? What do those choices have to say about you? Again, you want to convince your reader that your colony is going to be successful. This is persuasive. So convince us by explaining those top 6 criteria and those justifications once more. Your conclusion paragraph, again, is to try to convince us, or to convince your reader, in the old world to come live in the new colony. Why should they leave their colony? Why should they leave their home to join you? Be as persuasive and convincing as possible. Here's some things to help you kind of get started. This is an example. Obviously, you're going to put your own creative spin on it, but it is a letter, so make sure that you start it out as such. Dear whoever, in this case, I'm writing to my sister. Dear sister, I'm sorry for leaving you behind in England, but I hope you understand. The religious persecution was just too much to handle. As you know, I've dreamed of wide open land and for freedom of religion in the New World for many years. Leaving England on March the 1st of 1615 was my best decision. So there's some explanation there, but I also need to include a condition on the ship and something that's unfortunate that's happened. In paragraph 2, you want to get yourself set up in the following way. Why did I pick those supplies? Again, this is a letter, so make sure that you're using those personal pronouns of I. In paragraph 3, I should be explaining how I'm feeling now that I'm arriving in America and the date. So if I left on March 1st of 1615 in my first paragraph, I should land and arrive somewhere between 6 and 12 weeks later. I also want to include my name of my colony and the geography. I'm going to be as creative as possible. Paragraph 4, you're going to list those pieces again of their top 6 criteria. What are the goals of my colony? Again, in a using personal pronouns. Last but not least, I want to convince my reader to come join me. In this case, it's my sister. I want to use all those pieces to show her that this has been a successful voyage for me and that she should come join. I'm going to be convincing and persuasive. I'm going to include my essay in this box down here, type it up. I'm going to check my spelling, my grammar, and I'm going to make sure that I answered all those parts. Here's the grading scale for my rubric. As you can see, you can get 5 points for an intro, 5 points for a solid first, second, third paragraph, and 5 points for a conclusion. I'm also taking a look at your spelling, capitalization, your sentence structure, your grammar, and your details for 10 additional points. So in total, this one particular part, Part H, is worth 35 points. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Best of luck.